Let them have limbs. How I transformed my 1998 Furby buddy into an Oddbody. Here's the summary. That a Furby buddy. Dismember their feet. Disembowel them. That an articulated doll. Retrieve the arms and legs. Connect the arms with wire. Make incisions in the Furby's body for the arms and legs to go through. Insert the arms. Restuff the Furby. Get the beanbag, use extra stuffing. Insert the legs. Wow, we're almost done. Stitch the Furby back up. Et voila! Let's begin. I'm using a Furby 1998 buddy, which is a beanbag plushie. Buddies are non-electronic Furbies. You can purchase one on eBay, Mercari, or your regional second-hand online marketplace for around $20 US. The first thing I'm gonna do is remove Buddy's feet. Using a seam ripper, I look for stitches connecting Buddy's feet to her body and rip them out. It's my first time doing this, so I'm having a hard time finding them. But I know they are there. I'm not worried about being too careful or tearing the body apart because I can stitch everything back up later. After removing both feet, I gave them to my Furby without feet. Here's Furball with his new feet. Gorgeous. But he still has her tag on, so I'm removing it. Her tag says that her name is Toluda. That means big like in Furbish. But he appears to be from Japan according to her tag. I'm keeping her birth certificate in my special pouch. I've been keeping these tags from plushies ever since I was a little girl. I call them birth certificates because the Thai Beanie Babies tags came with birth dates. I'm proceeding with removing Buddy's innards. I find 2 large balls of stuffing and a bean bag. Cute. With her innards out, it's a good time for a bath, or as Furby enthusiasts like to say, soup. These buddies seem to be in pretty good condition, so I'm only going to wash and rinse them twice. Since the buddies are footless, I made sure to keep the water shallow. This is because they can't float without their feet. I also gave their ears a thorough cleaning. Furbies have endured decades of hearing creepy eyes and cursed comments. I'm removing all that nasty, toxic earwax buildup from the 90s. This is very relaxing and comfortable for the buddies because they are literally only in their own skin. Buddy has dried and it's time to transplant the articulated doll's limbs to her body. I'm using these Monster High knockoffs I bought for about $1 each. According to my friend Lomo Vegano 2, who has a large collection of Furby Oddbodies, there are a lot of articulated dolls to choose from. Aside from their bodies, it's also worth considering the accessories available, namely, the variety of shoes available to each type of doll. She says that she loves Bratzies and Monster High's shoes, but Rainbow Highs are the best. They are, however, more expensive and difficult to find. She also warned that changing Bratzies' shoes requires removing their feet. I'm cutting across the doll's body right at its waistline. I'm keeping the entire lower body. Since my doll's a knockoff, I reckon the quality is bad, so I'm careful not to damage the arms. I'm slowly chipping away at the body to dislodge the arms. With the arms out and free, I'm going to use wire to connect the 2 arms. This allows Buddy to have articulated, posable arms. I have a lot of bonsai wire, a relic from my bonsai era, so I tried out a few sizes before landing on this one that I'm using. I'm wrapping the wire around the shoulder joint, this little ridge right here. I'm using Buddy's body as a reference to gauge how long the bone should be. I'm not too worried about getting the length right on my first try, since I can redo it quite easily if I need to. I'm reinforcing the bone by wrapping wire around it. I'm not too sure how strong the bone should be, but I can come back and strengthen it if I wanted to later. With the arm plus bone contraption completed, I'm ready to implant it into Buddy. First, I will need to make some incisions at the sides of Buddy's body for her new arms to go through. I'm using a seam ripper to remove some stitches. I'm removing just enough for the arms to go through. Again, I'm not worried about making a mess because I can clean it up later. I'm giving Buddy her arm implants. They look great. I picked a white body to match her white fur. I'm stuffing her now. I think it makes her easier to hold to add her leg implants. I'll not be using the beanbag, so I'm using extra stuffing to fill her body. I'm testing out her arms and adjusting them so they fit better on her frame. This takes a bit of trial and error. I removed and redid her arms a few times to adjust them. And she's done. Moving on to Buddy's legs, I'm making one large hole on her bottom for new legs to pass through. I noticed that some Buddies have a vertical seam across their bottom, while others have a horizontal seam. Having a horizontal seam seems easier to work with since I only need to remove some stitches instead of having to use scissors to make incisions. Before inserting her legs, I'm sewing an invisible stitch to repair this large hole where her old feet were. I learned this technique from a YouTube tutorial. I'll share the link in the description below. I think it's a good idea to sew a straight line. It looks neater and better. Personally, I don't really care since I intend to dress Buddy up in clothes. I'm putting her legs in and adjusting as I go. To be honest, I didn't really think this through, so Buddy sits kind of funny now. With her legs in, I'm using the invisible stitch again. Put her bottom back together. Nice. Now I'm returning to her armholes to close up the gaps. And that's it. That's how I gave my Furby Buddy limbs. I think she looks really elegant with limbs. Look, she's dancing the ballet. I hope this video was useful. Special thanks to Lomo Vegano and Toy Box Trash for their invaluable assistance and guidance. Until next time, bye-bye.